Param Vijate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam total victory of Hare Krishna. It looks like my Wi-Fi is coming to glitching out, so let's work on that, guys. Give me a sec. Today we're doing Bhagavad-gita chapter 6 verse 5. Let me just pull up the tab. Okay, so uddhared ātmanātmānaṁ nātmānam avasādayet ātmaiva ātmano bandhur ātmaiva ripur ātmanā. Uddharet, one must deliver ātmanā by the mind ātmanam, the conditioned soul, never ātmanam, the conditioned soul, avasādayet, put into degradation, ātmā, mind, eva, certainly, he, indeed, ātmanā, of the conditioned soul, bandhuḥ, friend, ātmā, mind, eva, certainly, ripuḥ, enemy, ātmanā, of the conditioned soul. Translation. A man must elevate himself by his own mind, not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. The word ātmā denotes body, mind, and soul, depending upon different circumstances. In the yoga system, the mind and the conditioned soul are especially important. Since the mind is the central point of yoga practice, ātmā refers here to the mind. The purpose of the yoga system is to control the mind and draw it away from attachment to sense objects. It is stressed herein that the mind must be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the mire of nescience. I can't say the word. I can't say that word. In material existence, one is subjected to the influence of the mind and the senses. In fact, the pure soul is entangled in the material world because of the mind's ego, which desires to lord it over material nature. Therefore, the mind should be trained so that it will not be attracted by the glitter of material nature, and in this way the conditioned soul may be saved. One should not degrade oneself by attraction to sense objects. The more one is attracted by sense objects, the more one becomes entangled in material existence. The best way to disentangle oneself is always to engage the mind in Kṛṣṇa consciousness. The word he is used for emphasizing this point, i.e., that one must do this. It is also said, mana eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo bandhaya vishaya sango muktya nirvishayamana. For man, mind is the cause of bondage, and mind is the cause of liberation. Mind absorbed in sense objects is the cause of bondage, and mind detached from the sense objects is the cause of liberation. Therefore, the mind, which is always engaged in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, is the cause of supreme liberation. Let's check out the changes. Wrong tab, I think that was. This one. Alright. So, our first change here, instead of a man must elevate himself by his own mind, has been changed to one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. So, a man must elevate himself, one must deliver himself. Elevate, it's like elevate yourself to like the higher, like pure sadhana, but deliver is like deliverance to the impersonal Brahman or Vaikuntha. And I feel like elevate's a better word because like delivers kind of like I see how it works, but in the Damodarastakam prayers, it says, I don't seek salvation, your love only I crave. And that's like, the Damodarastakam prayers are talking about Lord Damodar, so it's like, delivers like salvation. So it's kind of like, okay, iffy. Yeah, a man must elevate himself. One must deliver himself. So like, one must deliver himself with the help of his mind and not degrade himself. So one must elevate himself by his own mind. So he's doing it with his own mind, just his mind and himself. And this one, the second edition says, with the help of his mind. So I feel like the second edition, with the help of his mind, like instead of just his mind, like with the help of his mind, because there's many other things that can help get you to become a more pure devotee than just your mind. For example, people offering you sadhana, so you can do sadhana, and then you can do that. So the help of it makes sense, it does. Like, so, but why did my brightness just go down? But the elevate is kind of, the change to deliver in the second edition is kind of just like, did you really need to do that? Like, yeah. All right, next change. Because of the mind's ego has been changed to because the mind is involved with the false ego. Because of the mind's ego, which desires to lord of material nature, because the mind is involved with the false ego. Which decides to lord of material nature. So, how do I explain this? Like, I sort of get it, but like, I can't really. Let's just think for a second. Because of the mind's ego. Let's check why. First things first. Manuscripts on account of false ego in the mind does not possess. The mind doesn't possess an ego. Okay. Let's check that out. Where is it? Mind's false ego. Where are Pure soul is entangled in the mirror. Pure soul is entangled in the material world on account of false ego. Okay, cool. Makes sense. Sorry, guys. Just had to check that out real quick. Wrong one. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm out here like doing wacky stuff. But is involved with the false ego. So Jodhvaita Swami says the mind does not possess an ego. Which I have no clue if it does or not. Like, I don't know it, so I can't be like, oh no, that's true, that's false, because I don't know it, so I can't say anything about it. Is involved with false ego. So that's a change I can't really explain because I don't know anything about it, and woohoo. And Jodhvaita Swami says, I'm gonna trust Jodhvaita Swami. I mean, like, what reason is there not to trust him? The big changes. But we'll ignore those for now. Actually, no, if we want. But, yeah. I don't know how to explain that change. Sorry. Added took away the full stop over here. Okay, not that big a deal. Is there a reason? No. Oh my gosh, I need it. Okay. And then in the second edition, they have added a reference, which is great because references are one of the changes that I really agree on. When they add a reference, it's like, okay, if you want to go search it up in the Amrita Bindu Upanishad, you can. So, yeah, I'm fully on board with the reference because it's like, where did this come from? Is it from like the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Amrita Bindu Upanishad, any of the other Upanishads? And like, so it's kind of like, yeah. Let's move on to meanings and contemporary application. So, a man must elevate himself by his own mind, not degrade himself. So it's like, instead of using your mind to take you down a path of like things you're not meant to be doing and like sins, I don't know if I call them sins, but like we're going to use sins for now. And sins and stuff, you can use your mind to engage in pure activities like sadhana, chanting your rounds, cooking for Kṛṣṇa, service, seva. And the mind, it can help you. It can help you a lot. It can help you make amazing garlands for Kṛṣṇa or ghee wicks or find a new recipe or make a new recipe even. But at the same time, the mind can also draw someone to places they should not be going. Like becoming an axe murderer or something. Like, no thank you. So the mind, it's kind of just out here doing some... If you make it your friend, if you control the mind and you control your mind, you can use it for amazing things. But when you have an uncontrolled mind, that's when stuff starts getting not very good. Okay, let's move on to contemporary application. So we're going to use money. We're going to use money as the example. So when you have money, you can spend it and you can save it, you could either spend it or save it. But when you control that money. You can control that money. You can save it, spend a little bit, save it. So you're saving that money over time, and then it amounts to an amount, a bit larger amount. But when you don't have control over that money, when you can't control that money, when you can't control your spending habits, there goes your money, and now you have a random ass, maybe 3-foot tall giraffe statue in your room, which isn't a bad thing. Like, great for the giraffe statue, but I don't actually have a giraffe statue in my room. That was just a random example. But you need to learn to control that money, because otherwise you can go broke. You won't be able to buy anything at all. So controlling the money is better than not controlling the money. And I use that as my example for mind. That's my contemporary application. Okay. Not bad. I thought that fast. All right, let's do Te Reo Māori. Ka mea ki te tangata kia whae wahi ki te yoga ina wakakore katoa ana hiahia materia ka wakatikatika ia I tōna mahi kia whae wakapau ka kahore hoki ia e mahi I ngā mahi wakamahi. Ka mea ki tangata, a person is said ka whae wahi to be elevated ki te yoga in yoga. Pretty sure G isn't in the Te Reo Māori alphabet. No, it is. Sorry. Is Y? Is Y in the... No, it's not. So yoga isn't actually a Te Reo Māori word. Of course it's not, but I can't really... You'd have to translate it to something different. So ChatGPT is on a little tangent again. How exciting. Ina when wakakore katoa ana, having renounced all hiahia materia, material desires, ka wakatikatika ia, he neither acts I tōna for his mahi actions, ka whae wakapau ka for sense gratification, ka hore hoki ia, no engages e mahi in activities I ngā fruitive mahi wakamahi activities. Okay, that's... I ngā would most likely be in the plural, not fruitive. So I'll set a party to set up my ChatGPT again, because it's wilding right now. It's going crazy. It's doing backflips and hula hoops and whatever. And I'm gonna go now because I'm done. Woohoo! Alright, so Param Vijayate, Shri Kṛṣṇa Sankirtanam, total word victory of Hare Kṛṣṇa. Hope you guys have an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, or night. And I will... Why's my hand like that? And I will see you guys tomorrow. Hari Bol. Goodbye.